Hi, this is Jason. Welcome to the shop for another session of shop production. Today I'm going to take you through the process of bending the sides. Okay, we're going to start with a set of Brazilian rosewood sides, and they've already been pre-thicknessed to a thickness of 85 thousandths of an inch, and they've also been profiled to the shape that they need to be before we bend. First thing we're going to do is wet out a piece of wood here with just typical tap water. What this is going to do is create a steaming effect when it goes into the side bending machine and comes in contact with the heat. That will loosen the fibers and enable it to bend without breaking. Just kind of spread that out a little bit. And we're going to let that soak for just a few minutes and then move on to the next process. Okay, now we're going to just wipe off the excess water from the side here. It'll still be damp, but we don't want dripping water coming from it. And we're going to see which side is our show side, top side up. And what I'm going to do is wrap it in paper. I got this idea originally from Taylor Guitars. But basically what it does is it just helps to keep the bending machine clean, because as the wood bends, especially certain woods like rosewood, they are very oily and they have a tendency to get your metal slats grimy and oily. So it also helps to trap moisture in to some extent, which I think helps aid in bending. Just going to trim off the excess here. And then a little tape to keep it in place. Now we're ready to turn on the heating press, heating blanket that is, inside the press, and get it up to the proper temperature, which will be 285 degrees. Okay, we're just checking the temperature. As we can see, we're right where we need to be. So it's time to put the wood in. Okay, we're going to put our side in here and just index the very back of it. Make sure that it's the right location. Make sure that it's lined up parallel with the metal slat. And then we're just going to slowly bring this down. Device head. Just going to start cranking this down slowly. temperature gauge back on so we can monitor the heat and make sure we don't lose any heat, that we're bending at the proper temperature. And we're ready to bring down the upper bout. As soon as our temperature gets back to where it needs to be. Okay, the side is bent. To help keep the side from warping or cupping while it's in the bending machine, I have this little mechanism here that hooks onto the end of the slat, and I can tighten this down, which puts a pretty good deal of tension on that top slat. It really keeps the side seated flat against the underside of the mold. Take the paper off here, see how it looks inside. You can see how oily it is, as I mentioned earlier. This one is particularly oily. Have to do a little sanding to get that off of the wood, but there we go. Now we're just going to repeat this process with the other side.